Well, it's Tech for Hire. I believe he's going to bore us again with his bullshit.
Hey YouTube, Tech for Hire here. I finally found one. Yes, a complaint with my Triumph bobber. In a previous video, I've talked about how I didn't like the sound of the exhaust. That's more of a tiny issue. This one is actually something that has caused me pain. You will notice before I've talked about the foot position with the Triumph bobber. Well, that actually causes a problem for me when I decide to, put my feet down on the bike. The foot pegs are directly in the way. When I first had the bike, I really didn't think about it. I was like, you know what, I'll get used to it. Well, we don't have a reverse gear on most motorcycles, so you'll find that you have to put your feet down to your side and push backwards to move your bike, into a parking spot or whatnot. I have bashed my shins. I've bashed my shins numerous times on the foot pegs on this bike. Probably something that's going to go away over time because I'll get used to it. With the Honda, I have forward foot controls on that one, so when I put my feet down, I have tons of room. Not so much on the bobber, and I'm going to show you right now. You can see here with the Honda, the forward foot control is obviously all the way up here at front. As you mount the bike, as you can see here, see where my foot is in relation to the foot peg? Or I guess I should do this. So I have plenty of room to move back and forth if I need to, because the foot peg is all the way up here. Now you can see here the foot peg on the Triumph actually is a little bit farther forward than your seat, because you can see your seat is back here and your foot peg is over here. However, when you mount the bike, as I'm going to do right now, once you're seated, you can see that my foot is actually really darn close to that foot peg. So I don't have much of a range of motion to move this bike forward and back. Because as you can see there, just a few inches and it smacks my shin fairly easily. Now going forward, it's not really that big of a deal, but obviously that's not an issue except for when you're backing up your bike. Now, what normal people would probably say is, well, put your foot, out to the side a little bit more. But as you know, when you're pushing your bike forward and backwards, you start to lose a lot of power on your tippy toes. So you usually want to do it right about here. But that's where I keep slamming my peg into my shin, and let me tell you, it's very, very sore at this point. Well, there you have it. After a month of ownership, a little over a month of ownership, that is the only complaint that I can find with this bike so far. A little shin bashing, but other than that, you can't really go wrong with this bike. Definitely, if you have the opportunity, take one of these things out for a spin. You will be sold. Unless you push the bike backwards like I do when you hit your shin. I hope you liked my video. If you want to see more, feel free to click down below. Don't forget to subscribe, or you can hit me at Twitter at Tech4Hire Online.